Today's the day we've been waiting for since that loss back in January. Football's back, baby. Eagles report to training. Who cares that the Phillies have lost again last night? The Eagles are back officially today. So we're going to talk Eagles. We're going to talk Phillies. We're going to talk a couple other things on my mind on the agenda. We're live, taking all your thoughts and opinions on all things in sports. We're live in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We're live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You know the drill. Wherever you are watching, whichever platform you are watching on, make sure you do me that favor. That's solid. Hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe button, follow button. Whatever platform you're on, just do whatever you can to help me get this show in front of as many people as possible as we continue to grow this great morning show and do our thing on a morning base, daily morning basis. I'd greatly appreciate that help if you could. Guys, I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, every single morning right here on Trending in the AM, Edge of Philly Sports. Make sure you find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge, which is listed right there. Hope everybody is well this morning. And we got lots on the agenda today. As always, Phillies lose again last night. Are we starting to get a little concerned? I don't think so. But really, the big topic of the day is that training camp starts today. The Eagles report. First practice tomorrow. Pressers tomorrow. Guys, football's back, baby. It is. You know, the first football game is like Christmas morning. Today is like the day when we were kids in the 80s growing up and you'd get the catalog in the mail in around October, November, and you had to start circling the gifts for Santa Claus that you wanted for Christmas. That's what today is like for football fans, or at least Eagles fans, because some camps have already started. You know what I'm getting at. Today's that day when you start to look at your future, at your upcoming year. And I don't know about anybody else, but I can't wait. What about the SS director in the house yesterday? We don't talk this. We're football, Davey. We are not talking politics at all. What's up, K1? It's about time. It's about time. Been gone for a few days. You haven't been in the comments for a few days. People are beginning to believe you might have become a traitor. You might have Benedict Arnold us and left for the other side. Wait, are they training today? They are not practicing today. They're reporting. All the players have to get physicals. You know, make sure they report at the camp in shape. There's a lot of paperwork and basic stuff they go through today. And then tomorrow will be the first practice. I believe tomorrow morning at 9:30 or 10 a.m., Nick Sirianni will speak to the media for the first time from camp. And then they will practice for the first time tomorrow, which is fantastic news, plain and simple. Plain and simple. Whatever they do, it's just good to have it back. I ain't no you're no traitor. Well, you weren't here for like 2 or 3 shows, so people were You and Marshawn have been we're beginning to think that if Marshawn's back today as well, then we know you guys are the same person because you and Marshawn have both been missing for about 3 shows. So, unacceptable behavior. The Eagles channel were releasing videos later today, and those hype videos, it's great. I'm telling you, the first day of training camp is like when I was a kid, because I'm old enough to remember getting that Christmas catalog in the mail. And you guys start saying, I really want this video game. I'm going to circle it, put some stars next to it, or I really want this board game or toy, star it for Santa. That's what today, Christmas morning, is in Brazil week 1 on that Friday night. Today is the precursor to that. And that's what's so exciting. Yeah, K1's back. So nobody's caring about today's conversation. Everybody's just caring about making sure K1 is okay. Making sure he's not Benedict Arnold, return. Just on the road, no, unacceptable. Unacceptable behavior. If I said that, you wouldn't accept those excuses from me. You would not accept the excuse if I had to take a day off. Just so you know. Good morning, Joe. How you doing? I hope the weekend was good and you were able to sit down and watch the Open. I watched the Open Sunday from the pizza shop. Sunday at the Open, I'll be honest, Joe, was the most anticlimactic end to a golf tournament in a long time. A major tournament. No drama whatsoever. Will Jalen endorse? Oh, my God. Don't you start this. Because this was one of the many poll questions from WIP yesterday. Jalen Hurts can't win at his press conference. Okay? Today's title was, who are you more concerned with moving forward, Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni? If Jalen endorses Nick Sirianni, the narrative will be, well, why did he do it before? He's just being forced to. If he doesn't endorse Nick Sirianni and doesn't say anything, then he's hiding something. If he says, no, I hate Nick Sirianni, fire his ass, then he's being a bad teammate. Jalen Hurts, whatever he would say at a press conference directly related to Nick Sirianni and what the media is portraying, Davey, will be criticized no matter what, because love or hate the Nick Sirianni or Howie Roseman criticism, whenever that pops up, there is an extreme desire to criticize and hope for failure from Jalen Hurts. And this is not a hot take, bold take. Well, I mean, I could use it for my Skip Payless hot take segment of the day. But WIP and the other media channels in Philadelphia would actually be disappointed if the Eagles won a Super Bowl, because they would have to then find a new way to criticize Jalen Hurts. Plain and simple. Now, look, Jalen Hurts deserves criticism. Jalen Hurts deserves this and that. But let me tell you something. Jalen Hurts is in a lose-lose situation when it comes to the media and when it comes to press conferences. And it's all people or companies or brands like WIP's fault. Why there's such a problem. Plain and simple. Good morning, Brian. Just jumped in. I'm concerned about both Nick and Jalen. Nick has to show he can stay in his lane, let his coaches do their job. Jalen needs to become the leader he needs to be and control the offense. See, I disagree. I already think Jalen Hurts is just fine of a leader. I do. I think the narrative that people don't like his personality. Look, there's 60 guys in that locker room, 70 guys counting coaches. Not everyone's going to have the same personalities. All that matters is the results on the field. But I would be more concerned if he can grasp the new offense, Brian, quick enough by week 1 in Brazil against Green Bay than I would be about his locker room demeanor or what he will or won't say about Nick Sirianni in a press conference. That is what I would be if I had the big chair, if I was the morning show on WIP, if I was in the drive home slot on the fanny packs. I'd be talking about, can Jalen Hurts command this offense quick enough? And I look back at every year he changed offense coordinators. And what did that initial first 3 or 4 weeks look like? That's what I would be focusing on. Not the negative narrative that gets pushed out there because he doesn't want to say, Nick Sirianni's my guy. I love that guy. They were both missing because they were lamenting the latest Water Dogs loss. Yes. The Water Dogs suck, don't they, Muffler Mike? Aren't they like the worst team in the entire sport? Like the Phillies struggling pales in comparison to what the Water Dogs are doing right now. I'm done hoping Rory will win another major. He's done. I don't know if he's done. He might get lucky. It's going to have to be a perfect weekend for him to ever win a major again. There's just so much talent, Davey, on the PGA Tour right now. Not a lot of stars, but a lot of talent. A lot of young talent. Davis Thompson, who won a few weeks ago. Stuff like that. So it's just very tough. There's a lot that's got to change. We got a fun fairway to heaven right here on this channel tonight, 6 p.m., talking about who had a better season so far, Xander Schauffele or Scotty Scheffler. I think it's going to be a fun debate tonight. Myself, Jason Sullivan, and Stevie Fuentes will be joining us for this conversation. Well, what's the predict odds? Well, I predict odds. Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think he will endorse him. I believe Lori will ask him to play ball. And yet the media, if Jalen Hurts speaks to the media today or tomorrow, Davey, and he has asked the question, do you endorse Nick Sirianni as your head coach? He's going to say one of two things. Yes, I endorse him. And the media is going to say, well, he was forced by Jeffrey Lurie to say it, just like you do here. If he said, well, he's my coach, isn't he? And gives a sly response, the media is going to spin it. Well, that wasn't a direct answer. Jalen Hurts cannot win with the main media. He can't. Got to write something down. I got Sports Center or First Take or Get Up on in the background. Made me think of something here I had to write down for later on or another show. It's all up to whether Lurie begins meddling again. Well, if he's meddling, K1, with how players react to the media, then that's a different story of him meddling with player selection or offensive scheme. Jeffrey Lurie loves his gold standard team when it comes to the media and the perception. And it's too clean right now. That's why the media is making random shit up right now. The donor class controls everything. What's up, Roxanne? You are not even spelling his name right. It's Hurts. What? I spelled Jalen Hurts' name right. What? Who spelled it wrong? I don't think I'm spelling it wrong. Jalen Hurts cannot win. Hurts' problem is not leadership. He needs to get the new plays down and learn to read defense. Absolutely, Duck. But the media has started this whole narrative, which is making us gloss over. I am more concerned with Nick Sirianni's leadership, and I'm more concerned about Jalen Hurts on the field learning a playbook that is 95% new, not the leadership aspect from Jalen Hurts. We've seen it all offseason, him hanging out with the guys. This guy goes to every wedding for every player. This guy is out there supporting his teammates left and right. The narrative that Jalen Hurts, the leader, is a problem, or he won't publicly come out and are we running for president here? Is this like, why hasn't former President Barack Obama not endorsed Kamala Harris as the presidential candidate? Does Jalen Hurts have to say, I stand with Nick Sirianni? No. It would sound fake. It would sound out of character. If the media got what they want out of Jalen Hurts, an endorsement of Nick Sirianni, and I don't even know what an endorsement of Nick Sirianni even sounds like, they would criticize him for being fake. That would sound so out of character for who Jalen Hurts is. And it's annoying. It really is. The training camp starting. How would flipping a single Super Bowl outcome affect the players' narrative, how they are remembered? Does McNabb become beloved by Philly if he wins that 04 Super Bowl? It's an interesting question, Joe. It's a lot deeper of a question than you realize. I think it depends on the situation and the specific player. In your specific one here, McNabb, I think on the field he'd be beloved more. But Don McNabb, the person, still was a a D-bag after his playing career was over, so to say, right? He was a pretty douchey player, but winning a Super Bowl, we would have forgotten that. But if you still would have gone on and being a punk and, broadcaster afterwards, punk to the media, punk to the fans afterwards, I think we'd still remember. It's like it's similar to like Kurt Schilling. Like Kurt Schilling's an a-hole. Yeah, we got a great 93 out of him. Great times in Philly, and even if he won that World Series, he'd still be a-hole Kurt Schilling. So I think that's the answer. It depends on what else they did after their playing career was over. Wooder Dogs are a disgrace to lacrosse. I think they don't even know what sport they're playing. The Wooder Dogs are supposed to be a lacrosse team, but they're out there playing some others. They're playing field hockey when it's supposed to be lacrosse. Phillies need to get back to basics. I'm beginning to wonder if the Phillies' biggest need isn't pitching, a starting pitcher. We need to send Ranger Suarez to the IL for an official 2 to 3 week break. You got to watch out Christopher Sanchez's innings. Let's hope Zach Wheeler looks good tonight. Otherwise, we're seriously concerned there. And yeah, the bullpen. Junior Marte, Ruiz, some of these guys in the middle bullpen, or when you're losing a part of the bullpen, might need an upgrade. The problem started when Hurts got paid. I'm sure it's just jealousy and wanting the failure of someone who, yeah, excuse me. It's not that Jalen has become less of a dedicated player because he got paid. It's that he got paid, which proved the media's negative narrative wrong, that he can't be a franchise quarterback. So now they're mad that they were wrong, and they can't just admit it. They got to double down and triple down and quadruple down and remind everybody that he sucks or he doesn't do this or that. And that's what the problem is. And that's pathetic. That is straight trash pathetic. That's where we're at and where we have to be with the Eagles. It's another coup. Is it? How is it a coup? Explain it. Explain it to me. Why you think it's a coup. Why you think it is as it is. I want to know. Because I think it's all a made up narrative this time around. I don't think it's a problem this time around. I think it's straight, just media driven, because the media is afraid to admit they were wrong. I feel Hurts is a top leader, Bruce says, and could be a superstar, and I feel Nick will do good this season. Well, I hope that they do good this season to cover that part, of it. But my concerns are, can Jalen Hurts learn a new offense again? He had to learn a new offense when he went from Alabama to Oklahoma. Then he came right to the Eagles, had to learn a new offense. Then had to learn a new offense when we went from one OC to another. Then another offensive coordinator after that. This is his fourth or fifth offense he's learned in the last 8 years of his life. It's a lot to take in. Now he is a professional. He needs to figure it out. He's a smart individual. But what he learns up here, can he translate it on the field quick enough? That's a concern. You're going to see some mistakes, offensively speaking, week 1, week 2, maybe week 3 of the season. Between a new offense, between a new starting center, a different system. But the leadership of Jalen Hurts, I question zero. The fact that he's a star, I don't doubt at all. Nick Sirianni, I only question Nick Sirianni. Can he lead without putting his thumbprint on the offense? That's all. I still think that 95% was Hurts being a little whiny or annoyed with the media. That comment made him look silly. That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't even remember what the way the question was phrased when that answer came out. So maybe you're right there. But it's clearly different what Kellen Moore does to what Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni have been doing the last few years here. Don't forget, lots of curl routes incoming. A lot of players are deep. Yeah, that's true. McNabb would be beloved in Philly if he won a Super Bowl. He would have gotten a national broadcast show or gig that would have helped soothe his ego issues. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting way to look at Joe's question from earlier. With greater success comes greater opportunities, which makes things a little bit easier. Yeah, maybe you're right there, Duck. Maybe. I think 6-man rotation is coming soon. I think that's the next evolution of baseball, period. Not tomorrow, not next year, but I think at some point in time, you might come to a 6-man rotation in baseball. You very well could. But I would rather right now you just give spot phantom IL stints to Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, maybe even Aaron Nola. We got what? You got 2 months and change left in the season. About 9 weeks. You give 3 guys 2 weeks off each, which means you need another starting pitcher, another decent, a 3 or a 4, if you're going to do that. And God forbid I'm saying this. Please do not strike me down with a bolt of lightning for saying this. We might need Taijuan Walker back in the rotation for the next 8 or 9 weeks. I haven't heard any updates on him, but you might need him back. It's past just McNabb. If Rodgers doesn't win that one Super Bowl, he is just Dan Marino. If Pete Carroll doesn't choose a run, if he does chooses to run on second and goal, is Russell Wilson? Yeah, fair things. How about Aaron Rodgers? And see, that's the thing I wrote down at the beginning of the show. Commenting, he was on the screen. It made me think of him commenting yesterday or a couple days ago how he hopes to win two Super Bowls with the Jets over the next 2 years. He's just so cocky and arrogant, Aaron Rodgers. I just can't stand him. But he is a damn good football player when he wants. And K1's back and Marshawn's back at the same day. They disappear at the same time, and they return at the same time. Conspiracy theories? Run wild with that one. Just so you know. Philly media tried to take out Sirianni with made-up bullcrap to cover up Lori's meddling with coaching staff, which I've been saying since you were on that other platform. Well, I've been on lots of platforms. This is not my first rodeo. But, I'm trying to formulate an opinion on this meddling stuff with Lori. Because I do know. That was the one of the main issues there between Doug Peterson and company was the Lori and Howie Roseman meddling. And I just don't know if we've heard much about it under the Nick Sirianni regime. Maybe because Nick Sirianni just allows it to happen. He's a yes man, so to speak. Maybe that's the thing. But look, it's his team. He owns it. Am I not allowed to go into the kitchen at my pizza shop and tell my cooks how I want them to make the pizza? I'm paying them. Just saying. Hurts, it's never a mistake. It's an opportunity to learn. And what is wrong with that statement? Just answer this question, Marshawn. People, I think you're making a joke, but people will take this way too seriously and criticize Jalen Hurts for making a statement like this. What is wrong with it? What do you want your quarterback to say? To make excuses? To blame people? Or do you want him just to say something like this and get off the podium and get back to work? What's wrong with cliches to media? Because no matter what he says, and this has been the whole topic, it doesn't matter what he says. It will be spun. I guarantee not just the media, that Marshawn. If Jalen Hurts speaks whatever he says, you will find a way to spin it in a way that it wasn't the right thing. I could give you 10 different answers to a question in Jalen Hurts' voice, and you would find a negative answer to all of it. Look, Phillies are on the agenda. What's that? Put them at 2-5 in their last 7 games. No bueno. That's no good. No bueno for the Phillies. They can't hit a baseball. Don't know if they'd be able to hit a baseball. Pitching looks bad, tired, gassed. But we still got an 8.5 game lead. Still got the best record in baseball. So there's that. To the Chiefs on the Hurts fumble. Well, the Hurts fumble was a key moment, Muffler Mike. Let's be honest. You're talking to the Jalen Hurts fan club president right here. That fumble was a key turning point in the game. Is that the only play that cost him the game? No. Actually, the Vitae false start, I think it was Vitae, the play before the fumble, caused them to have to recall a new play 5 yards further back. So we're going to really criticize, minuscule mistakes. The fumble was a big mistake. But the false start, the play before the fumble, was an even bigger mistake. Just going to say. But yes, Jalen Hurts can't be that. He had the ball all casually hung out. Like, that can't happen in the biggest game. He had the greatest game ever in a losing effort in a Super Bowl. But it would have been the greatest effort ever in a winning Super Bowl if he doesn't fumble that, potentially. That gave the Chiefs a little glimmer of hope. You give Patrick Mahomes a glimmer of hope, boom, they're going to stomp on it. Week 10, wild card was a lot of opportunity to learn. It never materialized. What do you want him to say? You tell me, Marshawn, what Jalen Hurts could say that would make you happy. That's all I want to know. I want to know what non-cliche thing you want to hear from him. Exactly. Give me specific words on any topic that he'll get asked that you want to hear him say. Honestly, K1, I've thought about this. He should become Marshawn Lynch. Not Martian Lynch, 33. Marshawn. And just go, next question. Next question. Next question. Oh, my time's up. Well, I forget. I remember the one time when he was just going, next question, next question, next question. Then he looked at his watch and almost like he had a timer going, and his time was up and he knew, and he got up and walked away. Like, seriously. But then he would do this, and the media would crush him. Well, he's unhappy. He's miserable. The guy just can't win. He can win on the field. Much more than he loses. But not to the media. Cliches are great when winning. When we're losing, he might want to... he's got to say something. He's got to go in front of the media. So he's got two options. Say something cliche, say something honest, or be Marshawn Lynch and be next question. And the media and you will spin all three options in a negative light. Always. It was Sayamalu. Okay, yeah, sorry. I say Vitae, didn't I? Vitae wasn't even on the Super Bowl team. What the? Sayamalu. Isaac Sayamalu, yeah. You're impressed I could say Isaac Sayamalu, right? And so clearly, too. That caused them to change the play that caused the Hurts fumble, which caused the game to turn around. So those two plays were the two critical plays of the Super Bowl. And I stand by that. What's up, Charles? Great morning. Live stream, bro. Edge of Philly. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. We're talking Eagles. You could talk Phillies. You could talk Sixers. Joel Embiid, with a big game against Germany yesterday. I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's right. I remember that line, too. Seriously. But even if he did that, you know what I would like to hear Jalen Hurts say? He gets asked a question that's definitely trying to cause a problem. And he should answer the questions with, well, what would you guys like me to say that you will not criticize and spin negatively? Answer a question like that. Or say, no answer because whatever I say, you will spin negatively. Let him throw it back in the media's face as much as he can. Instead of saying, no comment, say, well, what would you like me to say? Because whatever I say, you're going to spin negatively. And then they'll just go and crucify him for being grumpy towards the media. First it was Jalen, now it's, I don't know where the Vitae thing came from. No, it was Jalen and it was Isaac Sayamalu. Stop. Smash that. I appreciate that. Yes, that's right. Like, subscribe, follow. Let's go. Get this rolling today. We're already 30. Holy shit. We're already 30 minutes into today's broadcast. Already 30 minutes. The guy just can't win. I mean, he does win. 3 years has started, 3 years in the playoffs. A trip to, again, I've asked this question before. How many quarterbacks over the last 25 years can you name their first 3 years as a starter have gone to the playoffs all 3 years and made a Super Bowl appearance. Just find me the names. Bet you it's a very short list. Bet you it's a very, very, very short list. 3 straight years to the playoffs and a Super Bowl appearance. Watch it from Nassau, the Bahamas. Look at you in the Bahamas. Looking good. Stay in Atlantis or staying somewhere else, my man? You learn by Alanis Morissette. Start playing, and Jalen starts reflecting. You learn. Will Team USA lose a game? The last 2 games were close. Well, Tech, we did say yesterday, you weren't on the show, that I'm going to start a new segment every single show. See, I can be hot take cliche-ish, Tech. I can. So we got a new segment, the Skip Bayless hot take of the day. I'm going to be a clown, just like this guy right here. Right here. I don't know if this is like going to get me canceled or not, but yeah. The Skip Bayless hot take of the day. See, I can be stupid. Here's this one's for you, Tech. My Skip Bayless hot take of the day is Team USA will not medal in the Olympics. That's right. Skip Bayless hot take of the day. Team USA will not win a medal in the Olympics this year. There you go. How about that? I got graphics. I got it all, Tech. That's what I said. They'll get out of their group, and then they're going to lose in the knockout round. Like that. There's my hot take. I mean, I don't even know if I believe my own hot take. I'm just going to say dumb stuff once a show to see if I can go viral or not, you know? Jalen will go all game theory on their asses. He should. The problem is always with Nick. If you could tell me what Nick does on the team, I might change my mind. Look, I truly, firmly understand people that don't buy into Nick Sirianni. I do. But this team has had a lot of success the last couple years. There's no doubting that the last 3 years this team has had success. Now, I am curious how he will do in a lesser role, CEO, coach type role. I almost feel like him having that his personality is perfectly meant for that CEO type role. But that is a big concern for me, for sure. Can he be hands-off? Can he not meddle with this team? But I truly, firmly believe that if he had fully lost this team, like the media narrative tells you, he would not be the head coach of this team right now. There's zero chance that Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie mainly would have spent the money to build this team the way they did. Have a Super Bowl contending team. This offense, you went out and spent $38 million or whatever it was on Saquon Barkley. They're not doing that with a coach that doesn't have the locker room. Just going to say. Oh, you're a native of the Bahamas. Well, Charles, I'm going on a cruise down to the Bahamas in December. Maybe I'll look you up when I'm down. We have a stop in Nassau. Maybe we'll grab a beer on the pier somewhere in Nassau. There you go. That list probably doesn't go beyond Marino and Brady. Yeah, probably. I mean, I bet you I know Ben Roethlisberger made the playoffs a few times early in his career, and I think he made the Super Bowl in his second year as a starter, right? Or maybe he was a rookie in this first Super Bowl. I was thinking Ben Roethlisberger might be on that list. That was the first name before even Brady that popped into my mind. But very rarely does a starting quarterback make the playoffs 3 straight years, including a Super Bowl appearance in their first 3 years as a starter. Just saying. You like the clown graphic too? The clown graphic's pretty funny. Shout out to Stevie who made that. Nick's personality is perfect for the kit guy, not the head coach. The kit, you want him to be the Night Industries. It's kit spelled with 2 T's, just so you know, Darth Bill. The Night Industries 2000, just so you know. Wasn't that Mr. Feeney? Wasn't Mr. Feeney the voice of Kit? Well, I think of him as Mr. Feeney, but not by his real name. I would love a remodeled kit that talks and stuff. That would be fantastic. Would Doug Peterson have won us that Super Bowl? I don't think Doug Peterson changes anything in 2022 Tech. I would have to think about that a little longer. But my initial reaction to this question is that Doug Peterson doesn't change anything. I have to think about that. I'm writing this down. I'm going to put it on the Twitter too after the show. I don't know. I got to think hard longer on that one. But initial answer, no. Big Ben won as a rookie, but they won with the but he was still there. But yes, Jerome Bettis was the running back and a dominant defense as well. Powerful indeed. I'm a government officer worker, 41 years on the job. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, look, we're not just a Philadelphia show here. We're an international show being streamed in other countries. And that, my friends, is what's awesome. I love it. Kick guy equals equipment manager. No. Kick guy is basically you want him to be the Night Industries 2000s voice. Because that's all Kit did. He just gave, verbal support to Michael Knight, a.k.a. Michael Long. If you don't know, you don't know. Jalen's personality is best for the Tony Robbins crowd. Yeah? I don't know about that. I don't think Jalen Hurts could do the Tony Robbins. At least I don't think so. Does the initial 4-game stretch to kick off the year concern you on the defensive side of the ball? Look, I am much more concerned about the Eagles' defense than the offense. I am. We're just assuming that Vic Fangio is going to take this defense and instantly flip it. Losing Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick, adding a bunch of rookies, and Bryce Huff, who's never played more than 47% of snaps in a game in a season, that this defense is magically going to be great. That Nolan Smith magically is going to be elite. That whoever's starting opposite of Darius Slay is going to be elite. Like I don't say it. I don't. Now I do look at the beginning of the schedule and think that the offenses we're going up against early in the season are in juggernauts. Green Bay's a good offense. Atlanta, I don't know, Kirk Cousins, we've got his number. And it's primetime Kirk Cousins again. New Orleans doesn't have an offense. Tampa's offense is meh. We'll see Cleveland by week 6 if Chubb's healthy or not. Good morning, Eric. But I'm 1,000% have more question marks on the Eagles' defense than the Eagles' offense. Does Nick Foles turn the ball over in that spot? Probably not, but he probably takes a sack in that spot because he's not running around, dancing around back there. He's just taking the sack. I'd have to rewatch what the play was supposed to be first. No, not timing. I haven't read a single read yet. Philadelphia, born and raised at the playground, is where I spent most of my days. That's right. You compare Nick to a self-driving AI car with military components. No, I just saw the word kit, and I got excited to talk cheesy 80s TV shows. If you gave me something that was a good reference to the A-Team, this tangent would have gone on even further. Or MacGyver. Maybe Airwolf reference, maybe. But Knight Rider, you give me a hint to mention Knight Rider and the useless Knight Rider knowledge I got up in this head, aka that Michael Knight's real name is Michael Long. That's it. Deep knowledge. I'm from Blum, where anyway, guys. I got deep knowledge, but also some great sponsors here. Okay. So first and foremost, let's mention cherrytickets.com. Great moments don't just happen. They happen with you in the crowd. Cherrytickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Whether you're looking for sports tickets, concert tickets, theater tickets. SherryTickets.com is the place to go. You can go to their website, use EOP10 at checkout, and get yourself 10% off. If you need a more, additional service that you can't do on the website, you can call them 610-494-5050. Just make sure you mention EOP trending in the AM. Again, great tickets to all the events. Why would you overpay with the rest when you can save with the best? SherryTickets.com, promo code EOP10. And of course, our great friends at PhillySportsTrips.com. Again, it might be getting close to the wire here, but they got a great trip to Brazil to see the Eagles take on the Green Bay Packers week 1 of the NFL season. They also have other great travel packages and tailgate experiences to see your team all over the country or right here in Philadelphia, like August 14th, tailgate and ticket. Meet Mickey Morandini. Their great tailgate they're going to run on Italian Heritage Celebration Night at the bank. They're taking deposits for spring training to see our World Series champion Phillies start the 2025 season. Trip to Miami. Welcome to Miami. See the Union take on the Miami, whatever. I don't know what the Miami soccer team, but whatever. Includes hotel, tailgate, match ticket, everything. And, of course, all our great Birds takeovers like Tampa, Baltimore. That'll be a bus trip. Dallas Sucks Week down in November. Make sure you check them out, PhillySportsTrips.com. Mention EOP and Trend in the AM when signing up, guys. If the offense can dominate time of possession and Davis comes in strong for the season, the D will be elite. I was talking about the defense yesterday on Twitter. Defense has got to be more aggressive on third down, and we've got to get off the field on third down, Eric. I was tired and exhausted last year every single day after a game show, talking about how bad the defense was on third down, how we couldn't get off the field, how we kept giving up long drives, how the defense was gassed time in and time again. Winning time of possession is such a cliche football thing, but it's so true. Sometimes the cliches are important and what works. That's not deep, bro. It's a little. It's in the title of the intro. Michael Long's name is not in the intro. At least not the main. Maybe in the first episode or two. Just so you know. I'm gonna miss that, bro. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to find something else to cliche, copy it. Speaking of Brazil, speaking of week 1, Eagles, Green Bay Packers. Something that's been making the NFL rounds, and we'll get back to the Eagles, and we can talk Phillies here shortly, guys. If anybody wants to talk Phillies, guys, make sure you hit that like button, that share button, the subscribe button. Trending in the AM, Edge of Philly Sports. Tell a friend, tell one. Go run up and down the street, streaking through the quads, shouting, trending in the AM. All right? Something that's got me thinking is this Green Bay Packers team. And Jordan Love showed up to camp, but is not practicing because he wants his extension. The rumors are that he is going to sign the richest deal now for all quarterbacks in the NFL. Beating out the last 2 big deals, Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow was the one before Trevor Lawrence, I think. I know Lawrence and Burrow are the 2 highest paid quarterbacks. That people are saying that Jordan Love deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I got to laugh when I hear people talking and criticizing Jalen Hurts, who has gone 3 years to the playoffs, including a Super Bowl appearance, is like the 6th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I got to laugh so freaking hard when I hear people talk so highly of Jordan Love, who has started 1 season. 1 season. If Jalen Hurts was holding out, if Jalen Hurts didn't get his extension, he was holding out right now, even though he already took us to the Super Bowl, he would be getting demolished by the media. But Jordan Love, he's showing up. He's hanging out. He's not practicing. He wants to be the highest paid person, and everybody loves him for it. What has Jordan Love done, even remotely close, to what Jalen Hurts has done. And I think Jordan Love is a good, solid young quarterback. But 1 year, we're talking a 3-year sample size on Jalen Hurts, and we're still criticizing. We got a 1-year sample size on Jordan Love. And let's be honest, before the Thanksgiving game against Detroit, Jordan Love was mid as mid can be. But yet Jordan Love wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Good for Green Bay. They think they got their guy. The Green Bay media won't run Jordan Love out of town. I just think it's such a double standard. And I also think it might be a bit premature paying Jordan Love. I bet you Jordan Love's contract comes in at about $275 million, which is about the same as what Trevor Lawrence signed. Are you kidding me? Are we seriously having this conversation? We're talking about where we're from. That's right, Freddie Burns. E-A-G-L-E-S. Season starts today, unofficially. I'll say it again for the people joining us late. Game 1, opening kickoff is like Christmas morning. Run down the stairs to see what Santa left you. That's game 1. That's the opening kickoff, right? Today, the start of training camp is, if you're old enough to remember, getting the Christmas catalog in the mail. And you got to sit down and circle for Santa all the things you want. And you're, oh, that new toy. Oh, I really want that new toy. Then before the internet, you know? That is what today's like. You're getting the peek at the new toys, the new team. And then Christmas Day comes when the season starts. They did make him sit behind Rodgers when he could have been. Yeah, I know. But seriously. And I'm all for him getting paid. If it's time to get paid when you can. And I'm all for showing up but not practicing. I think that's a new wrinkle. Still going to the team meetings, just not risking your body yet before you get paid. I'm all for that. I hope he gets his money too. Good for him. Everybody should get their bag. I wish I got a bag. But that all being said, is he really worth $200? Is he really worth more than every quarterback in the NFL? Patrick Mahomes about to hold out and ask for an extension soon. So there ain't no way that Patrick Mahomes wants to be that far behind Jordan Love in pay. Vic having autonomy is huge. I think Nick and the front office was interfering too much with defense. I think they interfered a little bit by putting Patricia in charge. But look, Sean Desai's defense was not good last year, especially in first halves of games. He was constantly having to adjust mid-game, like drastically. The talent is what the talent is. But, I guess my biggest concern still is, can Nick Sirianni leave Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore alone? Right. What's up, my man? He definitely would. People would say, get him out of here. Exactly. Even if Jalen Hurts was doing it the way Jordan Love is, about, I'll show up, I'll go to the meetings, I'll hang out in the locker room, but I ain't practicing. We're talking practice? Like, seriously. Jordan Love's not out in his driveway doing sit-ups, pumping dumbbells. No. He's there. I still just don't comprehend that one season. I just wanted to know, so I looked up his stats. It was 9-8 last year. Playoff appearance. He threw for over 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So he had a good year. Absolutely. He also didn't win 14 games. He didn't put up 5,000 yards, which is kind of like the new norm for elite in the NFL. Or what media defines as elite. Like Justin Herbert's elite. But the Jordan Love thing versus Jalen Hurts is just so intriguing. Because I bet you, if you polled 100 football fans, who would you rather be your starting quarterback? Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love? I bet you Jordan Love would dominate that poll if you didn't do it in Philadelphia or Green Bay. That's what I would say. And it's crazy because Jordan Love's had one season. Jalen Hurts 3 as starters. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's the Kia guy? It's crazy. Jordan Love before the Lions game was Metier. Yeah, he was there. Before that Lions game, he was there. That was what, 9 weeks into the season? Very average. At best. The whole team was. Then that Lions and even in that Lions game, weren't they down and he had to lead a big comeback and then that sparked it? I don't know. That's just where I feel about it. I think it's crazy. I think it's ludicrous. I really do. Love was mentored by Aaron Rodgers. He probably thinks he's God's gift to football. Probably. Speaking of bags, here you go. Again, as always, I wish. Have to go early into a patient. Joel looking better in FIBA rolls. Hassan isn't reporting. I think the basketball team's winning medals and blood and guts in day one. In one day. Blood and guts does nothing for me anymore. So overdone. Joel had a very good game. He had 15 points, like 8 boards yesterday. Team USA still another close game. Already said it, Brett. We have a new segment on this show. I'm going to be just like the hot take artist by the Skip Payless hot take of the day so I can sound like a clown as Team USA will not win a medal in the Olympics this year. Yeah. I already put that one up. But have a good day, my man. They treat Jalen Hurts like Troll Embiid, the villain, and he doesn't even talk. Yeah. Sometimes we wish Joel Embiid was more like Jalen Hurts and said less. Then that Joel Embiid says some dumb stuff. But then he also has fantastic answers sometimes too. And I don't know the whole story, but Gilbert Arenas out here making some really negative comments. Really bad comments. And I just saw like a 30-second clip of his comments. So I don't know all the context. And I saw Joel Embiid's answer or response to someone asking him about Gilbert Arenas before I even saw the Gilbert Arenas comment. But hey, get Gilbert Arenas off a microphone. Why does he even have a platform? And 2, Joel Embiid's answer to the Gilbert Arenas comments was pretty fantastic. I'm huge on second-year quarterbacks getting figured out. More tape on them. And DCs are a lot smarter game plan, except expect down years for Stroud and Love. Well, Joe, counter to that is very simple. Jalen Hurts is second year as a starter. We went to the Super Bowl. Just going to throw that out there. I get what you're saying. I agree. But the elite of the elite can overcome that. Man, I'm congested this morning. I got so much in here. I love that graphic too much. It's so, and look, shout out to my man, Steve Fuentes. He came up with it. He designed it. I made a slight tweak to it. But he came up with this. It's so cheesy. It's perfect. It is. It is. I love it. Mitchie Pooh. What up? Killing me, Smalls. That was a play on Bette Midler. That was a layup. Was it? If it was a layup, then I bricked it like Joel Embiid a few games ago. What is Jordan Love going to do with all that money? He can't buy a Ferrari. It snows too. He'll buy a Hummer. Do they still make Hummers? Some real big gas guzzler. I don't care what he does with all that money. The question is, has money gotten out of hand for quarterbacks? Has the quarterback market gotten out of hand? It's ridiculous. And at what point do you say, you best earn it? Like, do something. Sustain before you got paid. Even if Skip sues Phil over that graphic, it's worth it. Well, they Skip can try to sue me. Okay? K1, because it don't matter. Because I got the best lawyer on retainer, David R. Cherry, the Cherry Law Firm. Workers' compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law. He is the best in Pennsylvania. If you need a lawyer, call the best. David R. Cherry, 610-565-0300. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let him fight for you. Let him get you what you deserve. So, Skippy, Payless, if you got a problem with my graphic, I'm just going to call David R. Cherry. Cherryinjurylaw.com, 610-565-0300. Now, that's a layup. That is a layup right there. You gave me the easiest layup on a 6-foot hoop layup right there. Every year is a chess game. It's all about who can do the most with the parts they are given. Yeah. Who's rebuilding? I love the graphic, by the way. I love the red in the skull, just so you know. But who's rebuilding? Nobody's rebuilding in Philly. That's right. We got lots of cherry bombs popping up on the screen because of that perfect segue right there. 13 likes. Not good enough, guys. Come on, smash that like button, please. Can't have 13 likes. It's got to be better than that. Got to be better than that. Just saying. 6 of 10 ad read graphic came up late. What? I'll have to go back and watch the replay. You're great tough, man. I wouldn't want Joe to be my teacher. I thought that was a good segue. I really did. Thought it was a good, solid segue. It's like a Mo Cheeks alley-oop to Moses. Damn straight it is. You gave it to me on a silver platter. Got to. But anyway, we got off here on tangents here. I mean, we really haven't answered even the question of the day. Who are you more concerned with, Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni? We got started very quickly on the Jalen Hurts. I think it was Joe actually said, what does Jalen Hurts have to say about Nick Sirianni? We went off on this tangent. We haven't spoke about the Phillies pretty much at all today. So whatever you want to talk about, guys. Everyone in media, there, lost that pen. Good thing I got it back up. Conveniently forgets that English is indeed Embiid's second language or probably third. They're so quick to dismiss everything he says as being, yeah, for sure. Mitchie Poo, you are, oh, man, I love you. Don't ever change. Jordan Love is just holding out because he's afraid to go to Brazil and face the Eagles. That's something that the Philly, see, Mister went to the school of the Philly media. That's what the Philly media would say. At least he does. Oh, does Mitchie Poo just play the commercials? The commercials are there. The pre-run commercials are there.
If you get hurt at work in a motor.
See, I can play the commercials too. I choose to do my own ad reads. I choose to put my own spin on my ad reads. I don't like to play the commercials. I want to get more personal. Yeah, Mitchie Poo. Mitchie Poo's a good guy. We give him a hard time on this show on the regular, but Mitchie Poo's a good guy. I got nothing negative to say about my man. I mean, I could, but I won't. Anyway, Eagles are on this show. You're watching Trade in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports, guys. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Seriously, we're talking Eagles. Jalen Hurts. We can switch the conversation to what we've been talking about. We'll change the title. What could Jalen Hurts actually say that would make you feel confident and not criticized? Because I feel like whatever he says will be criticized. Question 2 of the day. Do the Phillies have a pitching problem, an offense problem, a problem? I'm chalking up to midseason blues. Love is there in camp. Yeah, I said that. He just won't practice until he gets his deal. And the whole point of the conversation, Barb, isn't about what Love's doing. It's more about how the media would frame it in Philly. Like, I watch whatever sports channel show is on, and they're praising Jordan Love. But I guarantee if the roles were reversed and Jalen Hurts was doing the exact same thing, showing up but not practicing, we'd be tearing him down. Tearing him down. And Jalen Hurts has had 3 years of success. I'm concerned with Jalen Hurts first and foremost. Does he improve in progressions? Does he utilize checkdowns? Will he make the best reads? When it comes to Jalen Hurts, I am concerned with the change in the playbook. Not just for him, the whole offense. I remember last year, game 1. I think it was drive 1. Jalen Hurts threw an interception last year. I think it was the first drive of the game. He dropped back. It was a timing play. DeAndre Swift turned one way. Jalen Hurts thought he was going to turn another way, and he threw it right to the defender. That was a new offense. That was a new playbook. Similar, but still people not on the same page instantly because of no plays in the preseason, because of lesser practices in this new age. Their timing and their connection wasn't there. That is my Jalen Hurts concern. 1,000%, Eric. But no, everybody else's big concern is what Jalen Hurts will say about Nick Sirianni at a press conference. I know you just got here. I'm just letting you know. We're not bashing Jordan Love. We're using it in comparison because, as always, Jalen Hurts, for the next 6 months, Jalen Hurts will dominate the conversation on this show, for the good or for the bad. I firmly believe that. The good and the bad will firmly be talking Jalen Hurts for the next 6 months. I love it. But he really should make these bumper stickers and give them out. Comment of the day. Yeah, probably. With Nick, I'm worried about the early success of the team because he's always shaky about not fixing what isn't broken. Don't fix what's not broken. Yeah, I get that. This just in. Hassan Reddick not reporting to camp. Look, the Nick Sirianni thing, I want to get to Hassan Reddick in a second. With Nick, I'm worried. I am concerned. Can Nick Sirianni stay hands off? Can he see 2 drives go bad from Kellen Moore and him not, Kellen, you should be doing this a little bit. Why don't you go? Let me get on the mic and call a couple plays. That's my concern. This man right here is who made it. I already put your graphic up a couple times. I'll put it up again for you. See? The Steve Fuentes, Skip Bayless hot take of the day. Love it. Love it. K1, yeah, exactly. Dude, we've been talking football for a while, man, Chatter. This has been an entire football show. Entire football show. The Eagles have vision. Do they? Well, that's the concern right now. I don't blame anyone for not talking to our media, to be honest. It's not like the players could be open about a mutiny on assistant coaches they didn't seem to buy into. Yeah, if they were open about it, they'd be criticized for not keeping that inside the locker room, right? We talked about a fractured locker room last year. We talked about people not being on the same page. Look at this stuff with what's going on with Hassan Reddick in New York. We basically traded him away, in my opinion, for less than market value. Brought in Bryce Huff. Was Hassan Reddick the problem? Someone brought this up yesterday, and I spent a lot of time thinking about it. Was Hassan Reddick actually, I hate the word, whoever did it yesterday said the cancer. I hate the word cancer. But was he the problem? Look at the problems he's causing in New York now. But if you openly criticize, you're a bad teammate. If you keep it all internally, there's cracks in the armor. You can't please the media. And there are, you know what? I just want to do this again because I've shouted them out a few times lately. There are some good Eagles reporters. There are some decent guys on the beat. Chris Franklin, Ed Krabs, Martin Frank, Brian Cameron, when he gets the opportunity. But a majority of them, the negativity drives. And I almost feel like it's more the radio and the people that work for the radio station that drive the negative narratives. If you look at the majority of the people that drive negative narratives or start them, they're guys that work for the radio station. As long as Saquon and O-line come together, yeah, agreed. I don't know. Again, I'm the crazy one. I'm more concerned about the offensive line than most. It's still an elite offensive line, but I have a feeling it won't be a top 3 offensive line this year without Jason Kelce. I truly believe that. I do. And where was my note from yesterday on who said it? Brendan Deek from The Score saying Mekhi Becton will be the starting right guard. I don't think so, but he might by the end of the season. More concerns there, in my opinion, about center right guard than Jalen Hurts learning the offense. Cam Jurgens has got to learn a new offense too, plus a new position, plus all his assignments as the center. Let's talk about that. Instead of what does Jalen Hurts have to say to shut the media up? You know what? I don't know what to tell you. Love you. We'll see you tonight when we talk Xander or Scotty. Who's had the better season? I have a colonoscopy Wednesday. I hope the doctor respects me in the morning. Yeah. I hope the doctor says that you're on the same page, right? And you better give the doctor full support to the media. You better have a press conference before the colonoscopy and say, this coach, this doctor, he's got my full support that he can get the colonoscopy done quickly and accurately. The problem was the dummy who brought up Reddick being grossly underpaid when he was minding his damn business and focusing on trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Well, I kind of talked that he was getting underpaid. So, yeah. When did Eagles camp start? They report today. First practice and interviews tomorrow. So today's like their, get their physicals, make sure they're in shape, all that kind of stuff. Get the playbook, whatever. Then tomorrow they get practicing. Seriously. So, Mr. Negative or Mr. Truth, you accept the truth. In what words can Jalen Hurts say that would shut the people up? Because no matter what Jalen Hurts says, there will be a negative spin put on it. Negative. Again, there's no way to please the people that just have a preconceived notion of hate towards certain people. The off-season sports are weaker than Eminem new album. Yeah, I can't. Eminem's one of my presets on my XM radio, mainly for Lose Yourself. But Houdini keeps popping up, and I haven't listened to it a lot. I've only listened to it a few times, and I don't know if I'm vibing it or not. No, I haven't listened to his whole album or anything. I don't buy albums. I only listen to what's on the radio, well, on the satellite radio. And Houdini is on it a lot. My 25 minutes to work, it'll get alerted from 3 times from 3 different channels. But not really vibing at 100%. Hassan Reddick did not report to camp for the Jets. I know you missed it. I already said it. Maybe he was the cancer in our locker room. Well, Nicholas Morrow. Is he even on the Bills? Good luck with that. Yeah, master of negative energy for sure. Why should the people shut up? Who are you to decide what? You can say what you want. Your opinions matter. No. But I asked you a question. What can Jalen Hurts say that would make you feel better about the fact that he says the wrong things all the time? Jalen Hurts can't win with the Negadelphians. Jalen Hurts could win the damn Super Bowl, and somebody, not you specifically, you the negatives, would say, but it was really the offensive line, or it was really Saquon, or it was really the defense. Jalen Hurts has this preconceived notion that people will not admit that they are wrong to. I admit I was wrong on Carson Wentz. Hell, I admit that Jalen Hurts isn't where I thought he was last year. I am the number 2 quarterback going into the season. He's not. Yeah, even me at 4 has that's. I admit there's a little homerism in me putting him at the 4th, but I'll still take Jalen Hurts over a majority of the quarterbacks out there. And the fact that no one criticizes or everybody's so positive on Jordan Love, who's about to sign the richest contract in football history, mind you, after one good year, not even a whole good year, half a good year. But Jalen Hurts takes his team to the playoffs 3 years, including a Super Bowl. But Jalen Hurts can't get an ounce of respect. That's what we're talking about. And I'm asking you, what does Jalen Hurts have to do or say that will tell you, all right, well, where it'll make you say, I was wrong. My bad. But see, a lot of people can't admit when they're wrong. And that's the problem. Lose it is, yeah. Hurts is actually drawing attention to himself and the situation by not talking. He should just smile and throw some compliments out and, of course, play better. So the play better thing is a different conversation. He played good last year. He played great at times, bad at other times. He's got to be better. I admit that. I agree with that. I know that. But all of a sudden, if Jalen Hurts starts throwing random smiles and compliments in his pressers, people will then start changing the narrative. Well, he's being fake. That's not who Jalen Hurts is. He's hiding something by saying that. The people that are anti-Jalen Hurts will find a negative spin on everything he says, and I thoroughly, thoroughly believe that. I deep down inside believe that is what would happen. I do. Yeah, who hurts you, man? Yeah. A wise man once said, if you retire from the NFL with a Super Bowl ring, you're lucky. But if you retire broke, you have failed. Get your bag. Yeah, I have no problem with Jordan Love getting his bag. I really do. Have no problem with it. I just don't understand how the media just loves him for 9 weeks of good play. But Jalen Hurts can't get an ounce of respect after 3 seasons of good play. It's not about making me or anyone feel good. That's Eagles fans wanting to feel like everything is okay here. And there are issues. Matty B, I don't doubt that there are issues. There are issues with every team in every sport. The Phillies got issues. The Sixers do. The Lakers do. The Cowboys do. But it's about giving respect where respect is due. And Jalen Hurts has earned respect, and he does not get it. Because he's not what you think he should be. So do I. Not reading quotes like that. I would like to see less early pocket abdication and more stepping up in the pocket. I don't know if that's just not who he is or if he's just more comfortable moving laterally. I do think Jalen Hurts is more comfortable moving laterally. I do. And that is a way certain quarterbacks are more comfortable moving than staying still. Pocket passer versus not. And this whole narrative that you got to be a pocket passer, the prototypical pocket passer, I just think in 2024, that's just not the way football is. You look around the league, there are a lot of very successful quarterbacks that are not pocket passers. But there's also a trust factor about being a pocket passer. Trust factor in your receivers running the right routes, in your line blocking. Something that I've brought up, and this is a Matty B negative comment, that the Eagles' offensive line has not been as good as people think the last couple of years in pass protection. Jalen Hurts' escapability, especially in 2022, and his ability to avoid being sacked in 2022, masked some of the problems this offensive line has in pass protection. I truly, firmly believe that still. Okay? So you got to have, as the quarterback, to be a true pocket passer and go from read 1 to 2, that's not there, go from 2 to 3. To get to reads 3 or 4, it takes 100% confidence in your line, your receivers, your running backs, your tight ends, everybody. And the play call. There's a lot to it. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that. But also, like I said, it's okay to be a a lateral moving quarterback. It really is. How has he earned respect? 3 years to the playoffs, 1 Super Bowl in 3 years of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. Matty B, I asked the question before you joined the show. How many quarterbacks can you name in the last 25, 30 years that have made the playoffs in their first 3 years, including a Super Bowl appearance? The list probably is very, very small. Justin Herbert hasn't done it. Hell, Justin Herbert hasn't won jack shit. Jordan Love is about to sign the richest contract in football. Gets more respect than Jalen Hurts. He's played 1 year as a starter, and he went 9-8. Okay? Trevor Lawrence is currently the highest paid quarterback in football. He gets respect. What has he done? Josh Allen has come up short how many times? Josh Allen hasn't even played in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen is 100 times better than Jalen Hurts. Tell me what Jalen Hurts has to do to earn respect. And if it's just win a Super Bowl, then every quarterback sucks because very few quarterbacks. Everybody said only one quarterback's won a Super Bowl over the last couple of years. Okay, so how many championships has Josh Allen deserved? How many championships has all these quarterbacks earned? Seriously, if your final judgment on a player getting respect is winning a championship, then there's very few quarterbacks that you think are good quarterbacks then. Yeah. It would be, I'd have easy segues. Really, I would. Okay, I mean, and that's fine. If you believe the only way you get respect is by winning a championship, I think you're being a little harsh because very few quarterbacks have ever won championships. If you take every quarterback to start a game in the NFL history and the number of them that won the Super Bowl, very, very small number. So do you think Kellen will ditch the push play? Probably. Possibly. At least it'll be reduced usage. A, you don't have Jason Kelsey pushing, you have Cam Jurgens. B, you want to protect Jalen Hurts a little bit more and not let him get hurt. C, and most importantly, above all else, you paid Saquon Barkley a boatload of money. You might as well use them. So the guarantee about, it used to be a lock. Every week you just bet Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I don't know if that's the case this year. I think that number is going to come down significantly. Now football season started. I finally go on Matty B's show and yeah, that's right. Okay, so all right, so you don't care about other teams, but you can use other teams as a reference point. So you're saying every time a quarterback does not win a Super Bowl, move on from him? Like seriously, like I don't understand what you want outside of a Super Bowl. I want a Super Bowl too. Jalen Hurts gives us a better chance at winning a Super Bowl than anyone else out there right now, outside of Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. We're not getting into that. That is for the next step for Hurts and the offense. Jalen is a short quarter for a quarterback. Yeah, the shortness also is part of the sliding in the pocket as well. The size aspect does play a factor there. Josh Allen needs to get it together. Sometimes I say that about Hurts, but they still top 5. Yeah. This is a cry for help. Yeah. Guys, you and the rest of the brainwashed can use other teams as a reference. I want to understand what you're saying. I don't understand your argument. Your argument does not make sense. The quarterback on the Rams, they talked about him like Dak when he played for the Lions. Now that he won, they don't mention him good, bad, or indifferent. Look, I couldn't even remember his name just now. Are you talking about Jared Goff? Jared Goff is given more praise than Jalen Hurts. Jared Goff's lost in a Super Bowl before. Hasn't won one. Players Association talked with league about much overdue. Yeah. I'm not worried about week 18 yet, or week 19 yet. Not yet. That'll come eventually. Guys, one final great sponsor. I might need to go here because after talking to Matty B in the comments, I need a drink. And if I'm in the Delaware County area, if I'm in Ridley Park, I know I'm going to the quintessential Irish American dive bar for the last 65 years, where they have great food, great drinks, and great times. Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park, 24 East Sellers Avenue, dolansbar.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Just make sure you go in. When you go in, tell PJ, EOP, and more specifically, Trending in the AM sent you. Let them know you want a live show there. You want an Eagles show there. You want lots of shows there, guys. Bones Bar and Ridley Park. Make sure you check them out, guys. And make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. 7-day-a-week programming. Even Matty B on the channel. 29 shows this week. We got 6 shows today. After this, you got On the Shane page with Shane Hav and Jimmy Page. You got Fairway to Heaven with myself, Jason, and Steve tonight at 6. You got Birds of a Roundtable tonight. You got Chalk Talk tonight. And you got Phillies post-game show. Hopefully they get the win. Hopefully Zach Wheeler gets the W tonight. And then, of course, obviously, throughout the rest of the week, great shows. Make sure you're locked in with that subscribe and follow button to Edge of Philly Sports. Please, guys, I'd appreciate that. Jesus, that last ad read, I just lost that. Knock off the guy he was traded for, Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Probably like 28th or something like that, Mad Chatter. Still awaiting his moment of clarity. Yeah, I am. He's talking about Stafford. He won the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I think Matty B has been in Poland on one. Maybe. Mahomes is so far better than any other quarterback. Yeah, exactly. It's Patrick Mahomes, then 20 empty slots, then everybody else. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I've already said it. I've said it 100 times. He's already, at this point, a top 5 quarterback all time. And when all is said and done, unless barring knock on wood, because I don't want it to happen, barring a massive injury, Mahomes will go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. Nick Foles is greater than Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, Dan Marino, Frank Tarkenton, and Don McNabb. Basically, any quarterback to ever not win a Super Bowl is lesser than Nick Foles because he came in and won 3 games at the end of the season. And honestly, that game against Dallas, that game against who was the first playoff game that year? It was Dallas. I know we beat Minnesota really well. Who was the game before Minnesota? He played terrible in his first 2 games, taking over as the starter. Yeah, it's Matt Stafford. Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of Matt Stafford's name. Goff is severely underrated. Jared Goff is a very good side. I think the Rams did him dirty by getting rid of him. Now, it worked out for both teams. The Lions got their quarterback for the next couple of years, and the Rams won a Super Bowl. It worked out on both sides. Yeah. Matty B just likes to fire the crowd up. That's what he does. It's all good. The thing with Matty B is I hate some of his opinions. I disagree strongly. I shouldn't say hate. Strongly disagree with some of his opinions. But you know what he is? He's passionate about his opinions. He is. He's consistent in his opinions. Unfortunately, I'd like him to admit he was wrong occasionally, but some people just can't do that. It's all fine. Again, Matty B is part of the group that no matter what Jalen Hurts says or does, outside, I would not be shocked, and I've said this already, that if the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the negative media would find a way to take the accomplishment away from Jalen Hurts. He didn't do it. Just like the media tried to take away winning the Super Bowl from Carson Wentz in 2017. Carson Wentz, before the injury, was the prohibitive MVP of the NFL. Still think he deserved it, too. We don't get to that Super Bowl opportunity without Carson Wentz. But Carson Wentz was a bad teammate. Carson Wentz this and that, whatever. Not trying to turn it into. No matter what happens, the anti-Hurts community would find a way to make it about something else. I firmly stand by that statement. 100%. How good you have Green Bay. I think they did Aaron Jones dirty. Why move on from Aaron Jones for Josh Jacobs? Aaron Jones has been there for so long. I'm a big Aaron Jones guy. I think Aaron Jones is a great running back. Mahomes has thrown multiple interceptions in multiple Super Bowls. The 49ers handed KC 2 Super Bowls, and KC's defense beat the Eagles. Mahomes had 180. Yeah. That's what it would be like if Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. They'd be the excuses. Jalen Hurts had nothing to do with it. They win a Super Bowl, and the first question would be about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's relationship. Did this solidify your relationship? Is it better now that you guys won a Super Bowl? It's nauseating. I feel I fear this is going to be a very, very long season. Talking Jalen Hurts. It is. There's going to be a lot of it. I barely got to mention the Phillies today. I barely got to mention Gilbert Arenas today. Jalen Hurts. Man. Matthew Stafford's a very good quarterback. And he's got a Super Bowl ring. And that's a huge, huge gamble. Boom, bust. It's either going to work out or it's not. Will Penny play in Carolina? Who cares? Aaron Jones jacked up my fantasy team. He missed some time last year. For sure. For sure. Wentz had a fantastic 12 to 13 games, but he didn't win a Super Bowl that he never appeared in. No offense. It's bogus. Of course, it's a bogus statement. But, oh, man. We're a Philadelphia sports channel. We're a Philadelphia sports show. Philadelphia is driven by the Eagles, and it's driven by who the quarterback of the Eagles is. Can you imagine if this was back in the day and we're entering the season with, say, Bobby Hoyne as our quarterback, what would we be talking about? Seriously. We should be happy. Some of the quarterbacks we've trotted out there over the last 20, 30 years, Bubby Brister, Mike McMahon, Bobby Hoyne, Coy Detmer, Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson was a quarterback for like 6-8 games. The quarterbacks we've trotted out there, the errors of bad football play we've had, Kevin Cobb, and we're criticizing Jalen Hurts because he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. So that makes him not good enough. We're criticizing Jalen Hurts because he doesn't stand on a podium with pom-poms saying, "Let's go, Nick. Let's go, Nick." Like, seriously. Like, this is what annoys the living hell out of me. And it's going to be a long season of this. Wentz is our ex-quarterback. I wish him football happiness. It just can't be with us. I can't wait till the day where he retires and it's okay to rock my Carson Wentz again. I'm right there, mister. I did see the funny video of him tripping or slipping, walking out to practice with the Chiefs yesterday or whatever. The video went out yesterday. That was kind of funny. I was surprised he didn't get hurt on it, but, whatever. But, anyway, with that being said, I guess it's time to start the wrap-up process. I'm sure we're going to talk more, John. I know tomorrow we're going to be talking about the roster construction of the Eagles. I've done my research already. I've written down the last 6 seasons, how many players made the roster, the initial roster, at each position. And I'm going to try to make tomorrow about which battles are we looking at the most. Obviously, cornerback is going to be a big battle. Obviously, some of the other positions are going to have some battles. But I know the conversation, no matter how I start it, talking Eagles, it's going to be swayed right back to Jalen Hurts. Yes. Big difference, Barbara. Big difference. He's the DJ, not the cheerleader. There's a big difference between DJ and a cheerleading. Like, he's more, DJ, Nick Sirianni is the cheerleader, okay? And it is important in baseball to have that DJ cheerleader vibe. I hope I can make it for the whole show tomorrow. Sounds fun. Look, I do this every year, and I should rip this page out of my notes so next year I don't have to re-update it and Google search it. But I've got the initial starting roster numbers back through 2018. I figure a 6-year sample size is a good amount. How many players made the team at each position? Some of these are kind of surprising. And I kind of forgot we only kept 4 wide receivers initially last year. We kept 7 in 2022 or 2020. Really interesting how this is going to play out. I want to have serious conversations about who should make the roster, who shouldn't, who's on the roster bubble, who's not. And then Wednesday we'll recap, whatever Thursday we'll recap the first practice. But you know, I just know no matter what happens, whatever I want to talk about, the conversation will sway to Jalen Hurts. And that's fine because that's what we get here. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up right there, guys. We're going to call it a show. So with that being said, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching this on replay, hit the like, share, subscribe, follow button, whichever platform. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30. Make sure you're locked and loaded on Edge of Philly Sports. 7-day-a-week programming, guys. Back tomorrow morning. I'll be back tonight, 6 p.m. We're talking 3M Open, Fairway to Heaven. We're talking Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler. Who's had a better season? 6 p.m. tonight. Steve Fuentes, Jason Sullivan, and myself, guys. So with that being said, ring the bell, Phillies. Let's get a W. Go Birds. And as always, guys, bubbles up to you.